Good morning. I've had a rather slow 2 days, and I was busy sorting out somebody's birthday, and we went to London and had a very entertaining lunch in a Greek restaurant, and went to see a show I hugely recommend in Regent's Park, La Cage aux Folles, and yes, did all this at a time when there was a rail strike, and so had to do it by car, which was inconvenient, confusing, and we had to embrace ULEZ. So, the whole thing really was a struggle with bureaucracy, but hugely enjoyable, and apologies for being a bit slow on the YouTubes over the last 2 days. I'd like to pick up a point here from Linda Phillips, who says, who's responding to a video I made about Alex Belfield and Philip Dehaney, and Bay, stop screaming. Come on. Linda says, 5 years in jail is not to be sneezed at and should soothe the wounded souls. Or if that's not enough, follow the example of Prince Harry and write a book to make some money and go on speaking tours about what you've done, about what's been done to you. Less stressful and more therapeutic too. Well, I think Linda misses the point. The point I was making, and the point that I think needs to be made, is that the imprisonment of somebody who's done something wrong is one issue. It's only one side of the coin. The other side is to support and help the victims. And I don't think we're bothering with the victims in this country, in the UK. I think we're spending too much time, too much energy, too much money on the miscreants. Do you realise, I think the last figure is £46,696 to keep one person in prison for a year. The previous year, in 2020, apparently it cost £48,162, so it's gone down slightly. But nevertheless, this is an astronomical amount of money. It's actually more, I think, than it would cost to send somebody to a decent private school. So we are paying through the nose for people to be locked up. All right, come on. Aye. There you are. I know I'm talking. Right. So if we're prepared to spend so much money on criminals, how much money and how much help are we prepared to offer to the victims of crime? And we're spending also a lot of time thinking about the rehabilitation of offenders, very good too. And we're spending a lot of time thinking about what can be done to educate offenders while they're in prison, to ensure that prison isn't simply a way of keeping people out of sight and out of mind, that it's also a way to reform them. Whether they are going to be released or not, we want to make sure that the period that people spend in prison is reformative and is changing, life-changing, rather than just going to an education for crime, for further crime. And if we can't answer those questions, then we're not doing the job properly. So, on the one hand, yes, of course, we've got to be thinking about the nature of prison and the nature of that form of punishment. But on the other hand, we really have to be thinking about the nature of the support and the help and the compensation that we give to victims of crime. Because at the moment, it looks to me that if you are a criminal and you are put in prison, you're getting a lot of money. And you're getting a very, I suppose, comfortable, or at least reassuring and predictable life, a life sentence. You might as well be going to Eton.